Welcome back, everyone. We've rescued Bow Wow in the previous episode, and now we're heading off to Koholint Swamp. Bow Wow lunges at enemies. If we give him enough time, he will eat them. It's a one-hit KO. Now, the instructions for Koholint Swamp on the sign nearby are keep out except Bow Wow. Why do you think that might be? Because Bow Wow likes Koholint flowers. For some reason I don't have much trouble getting him to eat enemies, but he takes a while to deal with the Koholint flowers. Line him up and wait, and he'll chow down. Even the big ones. Give him the chance and he will go after them. And don't run into those piranhas either. So if you get him to eat those big ones, you can maneuver around. And we have 50 rupees. Not too shabby indeed. Now avoid that one and he will devour these ones. Don't make a fool out of me, Bow Wow, come on. We can't take him inside, but we are able to enter the second dungeon. This is Bottle Grotto. In the original version, the music was slightly inspired by the ghost house music from Super Mario World. We don't need to worry about lighting the torches just yet, but I took you this way to show you the stone beak, because if you are just beginning, then you will actually need its advice at a couple of points, unless you're very good at figuring out cryptic puzzles. So I've been hurt a bit, not too good. But head back to where we got that key. Notice those panels in the floor. They are triggered by switches like this, as the owl will tell us. Part of the floor is raised. Tap the shining crystal. So that changes how things go in here. And here we have a shrouded Stalfos. This one behaves essentially like moblins. Unlike the other Stalfos, you will have seen a yellow-coloured one. Those ones will try and stomp on Link, maneuver around them and attack them. Then, in the next room, jump over to get this. It's another key. We still have a locked door a bit further back. But we will, of course, need it that way. I just wanted to see if we could actually change it. Once again, we will need to change it so we can proceed. And our gold Stalfos, or yellow Stalfos, is back, and we can defeat the regular one to go down here. Now, these pots, you can't lift them. It is also worth noting the only time you get those sorts of messages are if you actually choose to check them out. In the original games, if you didn't have the power bracelets equipped, you would get messages like that anytime you tried to lift those things. Same deal with certain objects later on. But this room gives us the compass. Quite often we will pick up the compass before we get the map. And we have to do a little more maneuvering. So let's hit these switches and travel on. We need to go in here to defeat the enemies. These are mask mimics. You can't hurt them from the front, as you've seen. But we will need to go back to where we were to get that key. It's a little annoying having to do the backtracking, but it will allow us to proceed. When you have certain other items, you will be able to hit those crystal switches from range. So we can now proceed onward. More spinies to defeat. You should remember how to take them on because I've guided you straight to Bottle Grotto. Once we actually clear Bottle Grotto, the overworld opens up. There's no need to actually defeat them, but it just gets them out of the way. Avoid the spark and defeat the keys as well. And we don't really need that, but let's talk to the owl.
Make every block design the same. A new path will open.
A little cryptic, but it does tell you that you have to push the blocks here. And down we go. Use our brand new Roc's Feather to leap across the obstacles. Head upstairs and top up your health and go through a one-way door. Let's see if we can keep that piece of power to battle the Hinox. Our mini-boss. Hinoxes throw bombs, but they also launch charging attacks. Jump out of the way. If you have a piece of power, 4 hits will take care of it. Otherwise, it's about 8. Keep an eye on their attacks and get them out of the way. Hinoxes can be a little bothersome for new players. So, we have this room which is very important to us. Because as we jump over here, we can talk to the owl statue.
First, defeat the imprisoned Pol's voice. Last, the skeletal Stalfos.
Keep that in mind. Now this enemy, I believe, is called a vacuum mouth. They will obviously try and suck you in. But we have a map. We've managed to avoid its attack. Saying suction would just sound wrong, even if it is true. But we've moved on through the dungeon. And here's a quick demonstration of what it looks like. It does actually look like the bottle we've picked up. To a degree, anyway. Now, we have magic powder nearby. We have a chest containing money. And we have those heavy pots blocking our path. Of course, that means we're going to be getting the power bracelet. And we have to deal with boos to do it. Light a torch and hack at them. They could also flee in the Game Boy versions. And there is our power bracelet. This is permanently equipped. So we can pick up pots and, in true Zelda style, smash them. Move on to pick up one more key. We will need to lower the blue blocks. Was there... Oh, there was a gel down there. Jump around the hard hat beetle and defeat it. And take out the keys, but watch out for the gold Stalfos. Do not go through that locked door just yet. Because what we need to do is head down here. Now, you remember our instructions. Defeat the imprisoned Pol's voice. Our sword does nothing. So we need a pot. Defeat the keys. And now our Stalfos is dead. And there's our boss key. But don't actually go up to that locked door just yet, because I still want to guide you a little more. There is a chest we can pick up right at the start of the dungeon. And there are piranha plants. If you're looking a bit down on health, jump on a Goomba's head, and you can also jump and attack with your sword. head down here, and we're in the room just after the Hinox. Stand in the center of the warp and return to the beginning of the dungeon. $50 more rupees. We will need to rack up some money. The next item we actually need to buy from the shop is the bow. Very strange that you don't actually find it in a dungeon. But then again, I suppose no stranger than the first game where you found the bow, but you had to buy the ability to shoot arrows. Some fancy jumping, and down we go. So we're back where we need to be. Now it is time to go into this locked door. Defeat the Pole's voice. And we'll try and kill the Zol as well. And pick up a Guardian Acorn. With all the enemies defeated, a new passage opens. You can't come here unless you have the power bracelet, quite obviously. That platform will sink, but the other one is too sturdy. Carry a pot and step on it. And there we are. We are through to the boss of the dungeon. Bottle Grotto is also fairly quick, but they probably do that to open up the overworld. And we can face our second nightmare.
Ho ho ho! I'm your bad guy this time. Ho ho ho!
They say he's a genie, but he looks kind of like a demented clown. He will lob fireballs at you. You will probably have the Rock's Feather on hand. Use that to dodge his attacks. He had fairly quick attack speed in the original version.
Oh, I can't move! But I am still alright. Your little sword won't break this bottle. Even the walls here look tougher than that dinky thing.
So, as you can guess, throw the bottle at the wall. He'll keep attacking you.
Haha! You can't hurt me as long as I have my bottle.
They toned down his attack speed for the DX version, but either way, a good selection of jumps will keep you out of range of his attacks. Stun him and throw him at the wall. Interestingly, in the Game Boy versions, there were 2 torches in the arena and you could throw him at those.
Oh, you broke my bottle! Why, you make me hopping mad!
He'll circle around us, wait for the real one to appear. You can basically just tank that fireball. It only does half a heart's worth of damage and we have 5. He'll go down faster than we will. If you like, you can outrun it, since it does hit the ground eventually. And we can just lay into him. And there we go. Down he goes. Link's done clowning around. And there we are. We have another heart container. And our second instrument of the sirens. It's actually a classic. The conch horn. You'll find conches used as horns in a lot of media, but none as fancy as this. So we've been told where to go next, and the power bracelet opens things up. But I'm going to do things a little bit differently because we can head into the mysterious forest and get one more pickup. And Bow Wow's eating a fish in the background. Make sure I grab that money because we do need every single rupee we can get. If you have secret seashells to get, Bow Wow will point out where buried ones are hidden. He's actually fairly handy to have. And that guy just got comboed hard. Now you will remember this particular heart piece. Let's move these so we can come back from the other way. It's a little easier to get. Assuming... Oh no, I've done something stupid. So, if we maneuver this one, and this one, then we can actually get it. And we're going to have another heart container completed, because that is 8. And we have 7 secret seashells if you've been following the guide. If you like, you can go back to Telltale Heights, but don't worry about that just yet. I'll guide you there in due time. So we're nearly back at Mabe Village. It's now the time to return Bow Wow, and we should also make sure we put the Chow Chow figure in Madame Meow Meow's house. Also worth noting, you should come through the mysterious woods because on the way, you can pick up an 8th secret seashell. Continue leading Bow Wow back to his house. Everything is wrapped up nicely. Now we don't have any objectives to do in Mabe Village itself, apart from this. So, talk to Madame Meow Meow.
Oh, I really appreciate what you did for my poor precious Bow Wow. You're such a nice boy. How can I ever repay you? I know.
If you're low on health, the kiss from Madame Meow Meow will actually restore your health. And Link is blushing. In return, we can give her the Chow Chow figure. And Bow Wow is happy to see us. Let's go to the shop because we can actually grab some bombs. They're finally available. The bow and arrow set is also 980 rupees, which is very expensive. However, you can carry more than 999 rupees. We'll stock up on bombs to the max. That gives us 30. So, what we're going to do to wrap the episode up is head back to the Toronbo shores, because we actually have a few things we can do down there. If we head back to Tail Cave, we can finally get that secret seashell, and I recommend you do that. So, wander on in, and we'll be able to put our bombs to good use. I doubt you need a refresher, but if you want, head up, then to the left, and then up. Deal with the keys if they get in your way. Jump over and set a bomb right there. There we are, another one for our collection. And of course, let's head back out now that we're done with that. So we've been getting plenty of secret seashells, but what do they actually do, you ask? Well, we're going to find out probably around the next episode because we will be travelling through a cuckoo prairie which leads to most of the game. The idyll of Mabe Village has returned to its usual state. If you're good, you can make diagonal jumps with this too. Let's head onto the beach. Maneuver past Sail's house. And past the monkey throwing coconuts at you. You might have noticed that over here there was a chest surrounded by rocks. Might as well grab 50 rupees while we're at it. And I want to guide you to this house down here. We have reached the western edges of Martha's Bay. We can't jump those because that's 3 spaces wide. We can only jump 1. I do want you to remember the house, and we can get a secret seashell out of it. Keep its location in mind. So, 10 secret seashells. Not too bad, we are 20% of the way there. We are also 20% of the way through our heart pieces. No, 25%, sorry. For some reason I lost the ability to do maths. But we've wrapped up pretty much everything we can do in the general vicinity of Mabe Village for the time being. When we return next time, we will be heading out to a cuckoo prairie. Now, I did mention the Dream Shrine in town. I will inform you now that while you can go in there, you shouldn't just yet, because in order to get everything actually in the Dream Shrine, you need another item. It's also much easier to get through it with that item. Don't worry about doing the trendy game or the fishing minigame just yet. I will tell you when the time is right for those. But we have done quite well for now. The game is ready to open up. A Cuckoo Prairie calls. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time on our adventure through Koholint Island.